Tiki friends, I'm going to update a story I brought you earlier about the Tiki that was stolen from Shag'S Palm Springs pad. From the pineapple peaks of Adventureland to the murky depths 20,000 leagues under the sea, batten down the hatches, grab your coconuts and say good day, Jose. This is Rum-Soaked Radio. I'm at the beach shack with Tiki Tony. He's offered to carve a replacement Tiki for Shag. But before we go inside, let's go back to Shag's Palm Springs pad and he can remind us what this story is all about.
First thing I noticed was a carved Tiki by my front door was missing and there was a big hole in the ground. So I took a picture. I fortunately had a picture of the Tiki before when it was still there. I posted it on Instagram and it kind of went viral.
The Tiki was made by a fan in Phoenix, Arizona named Willie Turner. How does it feel to have the most sought after Tiki in America right now?
Oh my gosh, I got a couple thoughts on that. And so first off, I'm shocked, but I'm sad that it got stolen, but it's kind of interesting to know that it is the most sought after Tiki right now, and especially since it was Shag'S, which was a very special gift for Josh. And it's just overwhelming kind of, but under the circumstances, I wish it was something a little more positive.
You do amazing stuff. What is your theme and style and all that?
Tiki carving, it's just something I've always been inspired by. And being a native Arizonan, I'm very grateful for the amount of indigenous Native American art that we are blessed to view and to have here in Arizona. It's a very deep part of our culture. And one of those things is Kachina doll carvings. And as a child, I was so intrigued and so inspired by Kachina doll carvings, and always just blown away by the intricacy and just the different designs of them.
How did you end up deciding you're going to give him something?
Back in 2019, Tiki Oasis with Otto and Baby Doe doing Tiki Oasis out in San Diego. They expanded into Arizona. Shag, who I've been a big fan of even before that, he was part of all these. And so going into Tiki Oasis and getting to meet him and see his art up close, doing some meet and greets, and he's just an idol for me, And so I thought, hey, what can I do here for my idol? And just being inspired by his work, I carved a Tiki in the fashion of something that was based off of one of his pieces he did. And I just really wanted to give him something, just a gift to say, hey, thank you for all the creative inspiration that you've given me. And so during a meet and greet, I kind of let him know that I had something for him, and I met up with him and gave it to him 2 years ago. And then I didn't even know it was missing until I saw there was a post that I had seen, and then there were 2 Tikis there, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I thought 2 Tikis got stolen, and then I found out it was mine, and now it's gone. And then so and I really hope that he gets it back, because we don't want that curse getting to anybody.
The identity of the Shag fan wasn't immediately known. When Tiki Tony heard the story about the stolen Tiki, he decided to do one for Shag himself.
And I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's super cool. And I didn't want to recreate what an other artist interpreted as his.
Shag's work is based on, vintage tikis and things. And it just looks like a vintage tiki. So Shag has this magical power to make vintage tikis look like his own. And I'm just turning it back into what he created it from. It's neat. I don't think I've ever carved something from someone else's work, or I've recreated one vintage thing, but yeah, this is different. So this is fun.
He's a great Tiki carver, and it was such a generous offer. And then he said, can you send pictures of the Tiki that was taken? I said, no, I want you to do what you want to do. I want a Tiki Tony Tiki.
Wow. So you're not going to give him any direction?
No, I'm not giving it any direction. I told him how big it was, sort of same size. Other than that, he can do whatever he wants.
Wow. And so what do you know about Tony?
Well, Tony I've known for probably at least 15 years, maybe longer. I think I met him originally when he was vending at Tiki Oasis and the Tiki Marketplace at Don the Beachcomber. And always admired him, admired his work ethic. and kind of the whole Tiki Tony thing.
Did you give him a deadline, or do you
No,
have
no,
a
he
sense
can
of when
work
it's
on his own. You know, it's such a nice offer that he can take as long as he needs to.
Tony told me that he's been in contact with Willie, and while Tony doesn't know what his finished product is going to look like, I'm sure that Shag is going to love it no matter what it is, because, like he said earlier, it's a Tiki Tony Tiki. As for Willie Turner,
I didn't name the piece, and if I was gonna name the piece, I would, I kind of just considered it, as kind of like my Shag Tiki. I didn't necessarily call it that, but it was just kind of in the style of his, and that's kind of, and it was going to him. So this is my Shag style Tiki, but I never gave it an official name. But when I do make the new one, and I am making a new one, it'll have a name, and I'm thinking maybe Josh Jr.